Los Angeles, March, 1984. A Thursday afternoon at the 5th Street Gym on Western Avenue. Not the famous Miami gym where Ali trained in his prime, but it carries the name like a blessing. By 3 p.m., the gym is half full. The air carries the smell of old leather, liniment, and sweat. Trainers and fighters moving through their work with the discipline of people who understand what real preparation requires. Outside, Thursday traffic continues, unaware of what is about to happen inside. Muhammad Ali arrives quietly. March 1984, 42 years old, 2.5 years retired, wearing gray sweatpants and a black hoodie. The Parkinson's is there now, subtle but present. A slight tremor in his hands, slower movements. He finds a folding chair near the ring, sits, and watches. People recognize him immediately. A few nod respectfully, most give him space. The afternoon's work continues around him. Fighters moving through their rounds on the heavy bags, working the speed bag, shadowboxing in front of mirrors with the specific combination of focus and exhaustion that serious training produces. Trainers call out corrections. The gym moves forward with the organized chaos of a well-run training facility where everyone knows what they are supposed to be doing and is doing it. Ali watches with the quality of attention he has always brought to boxing, which is total and direct. Reading the fighters not just for what they are doing, but for what they are not doing. The gaps between what they know and what they have yet to learn. He does not take notes. He simply watches. The memory of someone who spent 20 years in rings learning what works and what does not work when two people are trying to hurt each other under lights and pressure. It is at 3:30 when Danny Morrison enters the gym floor. He is 24 years old, 6'3", 220 pounds of an undefeated heavyweight who has been boxing professionally for 3 years and carries a record of 25 wins, 0 losses, 23 knockouts. He is wearing red shorts and no shirt, his body showing the specific muscular development of someone who has spent the past decade building himself into a fighting machine. He enters with 2 members of his team, both carrying equipment, both smaller than he is, which is not unusual because most people are smaller than Danny Morrison at 24. He carries himself with the particular quality of someone who has never lost at anything that mattered, who has spent 3 years knocking out everyone they put in front of him, and who has started to believe that this pattern will continue indefinitely, because why would it not? His face carries the confident expression of someone who has not yet been surprised by anything a boxing ring has shown him. The gym notices him the way gyms notice undefeated prospects, which is immediately and with the specific attention of people who are evaluating whether the hype matches the reality. Danny has been training at this gym for 2 weeks, brought in by a new promoter who thinks he is the next big thing. And Danny has done nothing in those 2 weeks to suggest the promoter is wrong. He moves to the ring with his team. They begin the afternoon's work. Mitt drills with his trainer, the specific rhythm of punches hitting focus mitts creating the sound that boxing gyms are built around. Danny is fast for a heavyweight, genuinely fast, and his power is not in question. The mitts crack with the force of someone who has knocked out 23 professional fighters and expects to knock out many more. Between rounds, Danny notices Ali sitting near the ring apron. He looks for a moment, then says something to his trainer. The trainer shakes his head slightly, but Danny is already moving toward the edge of the ring, leaning over the ropes. "Muhammad Ali," he says, loud enough that the gym hears it. Not quite respectful, not quite mocking, the specific tone of a young fighter who wants to be noticed by a legend, but also wants everyone to know he is not intimidated by legends. Ali looks up. His face shows the slight delay that the Parkinson's sometimes creates, the fraction of a second between stimulus and response that was not there in 1974, but is there now. "That's me," Ali says quietly. The voice slightly slurred but clear. Danny grins. "Big fan, man. You were great. I mean, for your era, you were the best." The qualifier hangs in the air. For your era. The specific phrase that young fighters use when they want to acknowledge history, while also suggesting that history is past and they are present, and the present is always superior to the past, because the present is now, and now is where they are undefeated. "Thank you," Ali says, in the even tone he uses for most things now. The tone that does not add drama, because drama is exhausting, and he does not have the energy for it that he used to have. Danny leans further over the ropes. You know what I think? I think boxing evolved. Guys are faster now, stronger, better trained. The guys you fought, they'd get destroyed by today's heavyweights. He says this loud enough that the gym can hear it, loud enough that several people stop what they are doing. Ali watches him with the quality of attention that is still total, even if the body delivering it is slower. You think so? I know so, Danny says with the absolute certainty of someone who has 25 wins and 0 losses and has never had a reason to doubt himself. No disrespect, but the game changed. What worked in the 70s doesn't work now. Ali is quiet for a moment. Not the quiet of someone who is deciding what to say, but the quiet of someone who is allowing the other person to finish revealing themselves before responding. You want to test that theory? Ali asks. Danny's grin widens. What? You want to spar? Come on, man. You're retired. You got the shakes. I'm not trying to embarrass you. I'm not worried about being embarrassed, Ali says. I'm asking if you want to test your theory. You say the old ways don't work anymore. I say they work fine. 1 round, 3 minutes. You last the full round on your feet, I'll admit you're right, and the new generation is better. The gym has gone completely quiet. 15 people have stopped their work and are paying attention to the conversation at the ring apron. Danny looks at Ali sitting in the folding chair. He looks at the tremor in Ali's hands. He looks at the extra weight Ali carries now that he is not training daily. He does the math that young undefeated fighters do when they are standing in a ring and Muhammad Ali is sitting in a chair with Parkinson's. You're serious? Danny asks. 1 round, Ali repeats. You last 3 minutes, I'll say you're right. Danny laughs, but it is the laugh of someone who has just been given something they want. All right, old man, let's do it. But when I put you down, remember you asked for this. I'll remember, Ali says. They prepare in different corners of the gym. Danny's team gloves him up with the quick efficiency of people who have done this hundreds of times. They are not worried. Danny has never been hurt in a fight. He has knocked out 23 professionals. Muhammad Ali is 42 years old, retired, showing visible signs of neurological decline. This is not going to be a competitive round. This is going to be a lesson to a legend about respecting the new generation. Ali's corner is quieter. The gym owner, a former middleweight named Ray, helps Ali with his gloves. You sure about this? Ray asks quietly. I'm sure, Ali says. His hands are steady now that he is focused, the tremor disappearing the way it sometimes does when he is concentrating completely on something physical. They meet in the center of the ring. No referee, just 2 fighters and a gym full of witnesses. Danny bounces on his toes, loose and confident. Ali stands with the stillness of someone who has been in hundreds of rings and knows exactly what is about to happen. Ray rings the bell to start the round. Danny comes forward immediately. The specific aggressive confidence of someone who believes speed and power will be sufficient. He throws a jab, testing Ali's reflexes. Ali slips it with the minimal movement of someone who has slipped 10,000 jabs and knows exactly how much space is required to make a punch miss, which is less space than most people think. Danny throws a combination. Left hook, right cross, left hook again. Committed punches from someone who is trying to end this quickly, trying to make a point to everyone watching. Ali moves, not the floating dancer movement of 1974, but the economical repositioning of someone who understands angles and distance and exactly where to be so that power cannot find him. All 3 punches hit air. 20 seconds have passed. Danny increases his output. More punches, more power, pressing forward with the physical confidence of someone who has never had this approach fail. He is faster than most heavyweights. He is strong. The punches are real and they are coming with genuine intention, and they are not landing. Ali is making him miss, not by large margins, not with the showy head movement that made highlight reels, but with the slight adjustments of someone who knows exactly where the punches are going before they arrive. A half step back, a quarter turn of the shoulders. The minimal physics of making a straight line miss a moving target. 30 seconds. Danny is breathing harder now, not from exhaustion but from the specific frustration of throwing power and hitting nothing. His punches are landing on the ropes, on air, on the space where Ali was a fraction of a second ago. He increases his pressure, throwing combinations with the desperate energy of someone who expected this to be over by now and is starting to realize it is not going to be. 35 seconds. Ali has not thrown a punch. He has only moved, only made Danny miss, only demonstrated the specific principle that power without accuracy is just wasted energy. But now, at 35 seconds, Ali's left hand moves. Not the lightning jab of his prime, but the precise measuring stick of someone who knows exactly where your face is. It lands clean on Danny's nose, not hard enough to hurt, hard enough to send a message that Ali could have hurt him if he wanted to. Danny blinks, surprised. He has been hit, which is novel because in 25 professional fights, he has rarely been hit clean. Ali's right hand follows. A body shot, straight and clean, arriving under Danny's guard with the accuracy of someone who has studied human anatomy through the specific curriculum of hitting people for money. It lands on the solar plexus with the effect that body shots to the solar plexus have when they are thrown by someone who knows what they are doing, which is to interrupt breathing and send the specific message to the body that it is in trouble. Danny's mouth opens. The air comes out in a rush. His hands drop slightly, instinctively going to protect the body that has just been introduced to a new sensation. 40 seconds. Ali stops. He steps back, hands at his sides. He is breathing normally. His expression is what it was when the round started, which is calm and direct and carrying nothing that is not necessary. Danny is bent slightly at the waist, one glove on his midsection, breathing hard. Not the breathing of someone who has worked 3 minutes, but the breathing of someone who just spent 40 seconds chasing someone who was not there, and then got hit twice by someone who was. "You want to keep going?" Ali asks. The voice quiet even, carrying no mockery because mockery is not necessary. Danny straightens slowly. He looks at Ali standing calmly on the other side of the ring. He looks at the gym full of people watching. He looks at his trainer in his corner who is not saying anything because there is nothing to say that the ring has not already said more clearly. "No," Danny says. The word coming out with the air, he is still trying to recover. "No, I'm good." Ali nods. "Still got 2 minutes and 20 seconds if you want to prove your point about the new generation." Danny shakes his head. He pulls his gloves up in a small salute of respect. "I was wrong. You're still the greatest." Ali walks to the center of the ring. Danny meets him there. Ali puts his glove on Danny's shoulder. "You want to know why you lost this round before it started?" Danny nods, the expression of someone who has just learned something and wants to know what it was. "You thought power was enough. You're young, you're strong, you're fast, but you haven't learned the most important thing yet." "What's that?" "Boxing isn't about hitting. It's about hitting and not getting hit. You spent 40 seconds trying to hit me and didn't think about what I'd do when you missed. That's the difference between 25 wins and 200 wins. The guys I fought, they understood that. Speed and power matter, but understanding matters more." Danny absorbs this with the specific attention of someone who has just had their certainty revised by reality. "Will you teach me?" he asks. Ali smiles, the first real smile of the afternoon. "That's why I'm here." They work together for the next hour. Ali, 42 and retired and showing the early signs of the condition that will slow him in the years ahead, teaching a 24-year-old undefeated heavyweight the specific lessons that can only be learned from someone who has been in the ring long enough to understand what the ring actually teaches, which is not how to win, but how to survive long enough that winning becomes possible. Danny Morrison goes on to have a successful career. 38 wins, 3 losses, 1 heavyweight title challenge that he loses on points to a champion who, like Ali, understands that boxing is about not getting hit as much as it is about hitting. And every time Danny steps into a ring for the rest of his career, he thinks about 40 seconds on a Thursday afternoon in March 1984, when he learned that the old ways work fine if you understand why they are the old ways, which is because they are the only ways that work when it matters. If this story moved you, subscribe and share. Have you ever learned that experience beats youth and wisdom beats strength? Share your story in the comments.